Hey everyone, welcome to the epic conclusion of the BlackBerry Priv 30-day challenge. And if you haven't checked out the other videos in this series, make sure you do so. I did the same thing with the BlackBerry Passport, which is also on my channel, so make sure you guys subscribe and check those out. But this is the conclusion video, so I'm going to go over some of the positives and the negatives and things that I think can be improved on by BlackBerry. Now, towards the end of my challenges, I typically switch over to a different device. In this case, I switched over to the Nexus 6P, so I kind of get an idea of what features I'll miss from the Priv that I could include in my last video. The biggest thing I missed from the Priv was definitely the feel in the hand. The sliding up thing is amazing, but forget that. The curved glass on the edges and the weight, in my opinion, the density is just right. BlackBerry hit a home run with that. Front-facing speaker, amazing. Any front-facing speaker is better than any back-facing speaker any day of the week. And that includes certain other devices that are this size and curved glass and have a rear-facing speaker. Samsung. The updates that BlackBerry is pushing out are a sign of good things to come. When Marshmallow comes out, you can rest assured that when you have a Priv, you will be supported. BlackBerry is already pushing out almost on a every other day basis OS update or a app update or something or another to make the device better. And they're definitely doing something that other manufacturers should be doing as well. Okay, let's face it, the reason you pick up the Priv is for the physical keyboard, and I really like that about this device. It's something nostalgic about opening the phone up and sliding out the keyboard when you're putting it out of your pocket instead of double tapping the screen or pressing the power button to wake it up. And that's something I really like about the keyboard. It's the right size in my opinion. The best keyboard award obviously goes to the Bold 9900, but for the Priv, the additional features that the keyboard has built in make it, in my opinion, one of the best keyboards. The sliding mechanism is spring-loaded. It's decent and solid for the most part. More on the build quality later. The keyboard can actually be used as a mouse pad of sorts, so you can scroll through things. Your fingers aren't messing up your screen. They're not covering up any parts of your screen. The keyboard isn't taking up part of your screen. Now, another really cool feature I like about the keyboard is that you can actually map every single letter on that keyboard to do a specific function, like open a shortcut of an app, in this case starting with the letter C, or assign it to a contact for speed dial of anybody with a name that starts with C, and that's a really cool feature for productivity. Typing-wise, the Nexus 6P that I was using for a bit, I don't like it so much because it puts a lot of strain on your pinky fingers on the bottom because the keyboard's so high up from the bottom of the device. The iPhone, much better because the lip on the bottom is much smaller, just enough space for the home button. And on the Priv, the keyboard itself is pretty close to the bottom, and I think the best part about this is obviously the gestures that you can do on the touchscreen keyboard and on the physical keyboard. But once you swipe it up, you'll really see what I mean in terms of the space on the bottom. Your thumbs have a lot less distance to travel. The phone itself is very well balanced in the hand when you're typing, and overall puts a lot less strain on your pinky fingers, which is why people prefer typing on a physical keyboard. And this image kind of shows what I'm talking about. The keyboard is a lot thinner, not so much here, but more so here. In the physical configuration, the keyboard is the right size in my opinion. Now, a lot of people have pooped all over the camera of the Priv, and I think that for the average user, it is great. And by average user, I include myself in that. And I take a lot of video on my phone for some of these videos on YouTube. But unless you're a professional, you're not using a phone. You're using a DSLR or a mirrorless camera system or something along those lines. So for sharing on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, emailing, and WhatsApping these images, they are more than sufficient. And they're really good. These are images I took at home on my computer table and around the house. There was no special studio lighting. I did nothing special. I didn't play with any settings. It was all in automatic mode, and the pictures are decent. Now, one of the best features of BlackBerry in general, not just the Priv, is the hub. A lot of people find this overwhelming, but I love the fact that everything is one place. Now, think about this. I'm not opening the WhatsApp app. I'm not opening the Facebook app and the Twitter app and the Instagram app and the email app for Gmail, different accounts individually. Everything is in one spot, and I really like this feature the most. I don't have to waste a lot of time looking at different apps. So those are the positives of the device that I really like, and of course there are counterparts which are negative, and I'll mention those here. And these are things that BlackBerry should take note of. Not that anybody watches my video that actually matters. It's just people like us who are nerds. But the Priv's price tag is ridiculous. $899. This is Canadian prices, and I paid almost $1,015 taxes in. This is the Nexus 6P, which costs only $700. Taxes in, just short of $800. That's $200 less than the Priv. iPhone, I mean, everybody knows that iPhone's stupid with their prices and they overprice everything, and people still line up, myself included. But that's just to give you a frame of reference. So keep that price point in mind as I go forwards with some of the other negatives, and there really aren't a lot, to be honest. The biggest thing is the battery life on the Priv. This is a good day. I'm sitting at work at my desk. I'm not using the device so much, but I'm barely getting to 3 p.m. after unplugging it at 6:30 or 7 in the morning. This is a more typical day where I'm using the device and then I'm frantically searching for a charger. I get a little bit of a charge in and then it goes down again because I got to go to a meeting or go to something else. Then I find another charger, I charge again, and then I got to go again. And that is more like a typical day with the Priv. Now, in contrast to that, here's the Nexus 6P. Again, $200 cheaper, but I'm going from 7 a.m. till about 2 a.m. on a heavy usage day because I have all my music and everything synced up here, so I was using it more heavily than the Priv. With the same number of accounts synced up, the Nexus 6P just did way better. So I found a solution for the Priv's battery life. Walk around like a special person with a battery pack. That's what you want to do after spending $1,000 on a phone, right? Besides that, the build quality, the logo for BlackBerry should be Snap Crackle Pop because every single thing on this device makes a noise, including the screen, including the back panel, including the side chassis of the phone itself, including the keyboard. Now, this isn't just me. This is my friends. 2 of them bought devices, then they got replacements. Theirs did the same thing in all 4 instances. Same with mine. Now, where are we from there? To recap, I really love the hub. I really love the overall keyboard experience. I really don't like the build quality and the battery life on the Priv, and I really, really don't like the price tag. So where am I going from here? I also looked at the iPhone 6s Plus. The price is a bit too high, but I'd probably go back to the iPhone 6 Plus if anything. But I guess the one big benefit of this 30-day challenge was that I kind of am turned off from the whole iOS system. So I looked at another Android device option, which was a Nexus 6P. And I really liked it, but look at it this way. They're all boring rectangles of glass. The Priv, at the end of the day, has a little gimmick to it where you can slide it open and it has a keyboard. It has that wow factor that a lot of people haven't had for a while with phones. Every other phone out there is literally that, a rectangular piece of glass. The Priv, on the other hand, has a keyboard that slides up. It does something. I'm a fidgety person, so it helps me to have something in my hand that I can slide up and down. Makes you feel important because you're using a BlackBerry all of a sudden in the office. So going forwards from these device options that I have, and of course there's many, many others, but I like the bigger screens and I like the bigger batteries, except for the BlackBerries. Where am I going to go? Believe it or not, guys, I'm actually going to keep the Priv. And I can't believe I'm saying that because I looked at my lifestyle. I work at a desk 9 to 5. I drive in a car. I come back home and I'm essentially at my desk. Or if I'm out and about, I have a battery pack. And what I'm saying is the battery life is the biggest deterrent for me from using this device. And I have workarounds for that. So for now, I'm going to keep the Priv. And if it annoys me enough or things become worse with the battery, which I don't think is possible, then yeah, I can switch over to the Nexus 6P and I can sell this thing. But for now, that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this series of the 30-day challenge with the BlackBerry Priv. Make sure you guys subscribe for other videos. And if I miss something or if you want to see something, let me know in the comments below. I'll make follow-up videos because I am keeping this device for now. And that is it. I will see you guys in the next one.